Pistons got into a fight last night with the Hornets, won the game. Shout out B-Ball Paul, who stepped up big without Duren or Stewart. But you had 2 Hornets and 2 Pistons thrown out of the game. Suspensions to follow. You had a fight in the game, then you had me fighting on Twitter afterwards. John, I have a question, and I want to get people's feedback. Can you both love the feisty physical play that the Pistons bring, where they get under people's skin and cause their blood to boil? Can you like that while also holding the opinion that Isaiah Stewart crossed the line? Because JB can say he didn't, but when you parachute in from Raleigh as the fight is being separated, they're nowhere near one another. Duren's not next to Miles Bridges. You're not protecting him, as Johnny Kane repeated over and over on the broadcast. Stewart got off the bench, sprinted, still wearing his ice packs, and got involved in something he had no need to get involved with, and knowing he's going to get auto-suspended and auto-ejected. Can you like the way the Pistons play and not like what Isaiah Stewart did? Or is that a bad take?
Well, okay, let's go back to how you initially started this. You're a team that tries to raise the blood pressure and raise the temperature of your opponents to a point where they are going to do something stupid like headbutt a player or take a swing at a player. If you know that's the type of basketball that you're playing, and we love that, absolutely love it, that they get under the skin, that they make you think about the individual versus the game or running an offense, running a defense. You're more concerned about an individual, and then all of a sudden, what you're trying to instigate happens.
Right.
Then you should be prepared not to do what Beef Stew ultimately did.
And I'm not defending what Miles Bridges did. If we want to do Charlotte radio, I'll rip him too. That's a scummy move. You're not involved in the initial altercation. Duren and Diabate get tangled. They're pushing, they're shoving. It's heated. Those 2 guys get separated. Then Bridges decides, you know what? I'm going to try to get some cheap shots in. That's total scumbag behavior. I'm not condoning what Bridges did. I think Bridges should get multi-game suspension. The problem is Stewart's already received several multi-game suspensions and took the bait and ran out there. But I know there are people out there who say this is just, you take the good with the bad. You're either with us or you're against us. You can't hold the opinion that you like the physicality, but then dog Stu for this. So let us know, because I already know how it went last night on social media. You're not one of us. You might not appreciate...
you weren't born here or raised here.
I felt like some of these were your burners. But the idea... I like the idea that you have an army of these to just swat me with anytime I have a bad take.
I love social media so much that I have multiple burner accounts just to attack you online with.
But we're the bad boys. This is who we are. You're soft. You're the P word. Can you hold the opinion that you like the physicality, but you don't like what Stewart did?
Yeah, because when the NBA comes down with the suspension later today, if it's 5 games, if it's 6 or 7 games, are you going to tell me you like it at that point? Yeah, the cost is worth the action? No.
We laid out the next stretch of games for the Pistons, and they are regular season games. We understand this team's going to be more than comfortably in the postseason, but they're going to face Spurs and the Thunder. I think the Knicks are in there too. As much of a tone setter as Stewart was last night, I'd rather him set the tone by playing in those games. And what I'm more concerned about than anything else, John, is not what are they going to do without Stu? B-Ball Paul will step up for a handful of games. My concern is when you play the same team in a 7-game series and several 7-game series, we know that those tensions flare up more often. Stuff carries over. Is Stu going to be able to help himself if his brother gets picked on? You know, JB says these are like brothers.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm the other team, I'm taking my 9th, 10th guy off the bench, and I'm telling him, you go at and you push and shove Duren, and you try to get hothead Stu tossed out of the game 2 and missing game 3 or game 4 or, God forbid, a game 5, 6, or 7 in a big-time pivotal series. You can't get... John, he's on the bench. That's the one rule everybody in the NBA knows is you don't go off the bench. The Suns had a playoff run derailed because they had players coming off the bench to get involved in an altercation. He's got to be smarter than that. No one doubts his toughness. No one doubts the camaraderie and the togetherness and the intensity of this team, but you got to be smarter than that.
Yeah, don't let them turn the tables on you and get you to do something you're trying to get them to do.
Right.
And it's all about the response. It's about the reaction. It's about coming off of the bench, because if he was on the floor and was involved in it, yeah, okay, still a suspension, but maybe it's 2-3 games because he's a repeat offender versus
Right.
coming off the bench. That's a completely different level. And it's going to be about continuing to escalate. He wasn't coming in as a peacemaker.
No, and I think we may have the concern, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, John, but concern about the reputation that Stewart is getting. But I think there are fans that love and embrace this reputation of Isaiah Stewart.
Oh, the reputation. Yeah, sure. You can have a reputation as the enforcer, as the muscle, without having to do this.
Right. Well, some people say you can't. They say, well, then you're not the tough team you claim to be. If you're not about that fight, then just say so.
So the fight happens last night, and Miles Bridges comes, takes a swipe at Jalen Duren, and Beef Stew doesn't come off the bench. Are we sitting here this morning going, boy, no one on this team has Jalen Duren's back? Where was Beef Stew?
He's gone soft.
No, we're not.
No, I don't think so.
We're not. And so when you flip it around like that, no, you're not going to gain a reputation of, oh, he didn't have his back.
Yeah, I don't think you suddenly lose all of the culture and togetherness if the players on the bench don't get involved. 248-539-9797. Richard, you're on 97.1.
How's it going, guys? I want to speak out. I don't condone, that type of behavior, but I think sports need a little more of that. Not somewhat like hockey. Because you're coming out here and they heated, they in the battle. I don't agree with what Stewart did at all, getting off the bench. Let the guys on the floor handle that, or wait till you come on the court and handle your business. Not to do nothing dirty or nothing like that, but there's ways to get back. But I think sports need a little bit more of that, and then maybe the fans will come back because they figure like, oh, that's his buddy. He ain't going to, do nothing. The games are rigged and everything else,
Sure, Richard, I agree with you. We need more
chippiness.
Pistons, Bulls, Bad Boys era. We need more Wings, Avalanche.
Yeah. I like chippiness.
Yeah.
I think everybody likes chippiness when you could tell there's an intensity and the guys are really going at each other.
And I don't have an issue with anything that Jalen Duren did. Hey, you're going to get into it. That's the style of basketball that you play. It's going to happen.
Well, that's the thing. I'll stand with Duren. Like when JB says, hey, man, they got multiple dudes running at him, throwing punches. He has a right to defend himself. I have no issue with Duren. If he ends up getting a game, it sucks. But he is at the center of this going back and forth physically, and it boils over. Okay? That's different than showing up from the bench. JB can say that Duren didn't cross the line. I think it's a hard sell, and I know he's sticking up for his guys, but to look someone in the eye and say, Isaiah Stewart didn't cross the line last night, like, who are we kidding? Of course he did.
I would be surprised. I would be shocked. I would be disappointed and a little bit angry if Jalen Duren gets the same suspension as Diabate.
Because Diabate was unhinged.
Lost his mind.
So if you were doling this out, if we made John Jansen...
Commissioner.
Mr. Law and Order Commissioner.
Oh, wow.
You come in, you're the sheriff. How are you going to lay this down?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things I would start with.
Just focus on the suspensions.
Okay. All right. I thought I was going to talk about load management and things like that.
You got 4 guys. How many games apiece?
I probably give Duren time served. He missed the game. I don't suspend him. Diabate, I probably give him a game. Miles Bridges, I would think that he would probably be 7 games.
Wow, okay.
And I would give Isaiah Stewart 4 or 5.
Okay. What'd you say, Diabate?
Diabate, 1 game.
Okay. Yeah, look, I think Duren and Diabate...
And I don't know the history of Diabate. I don't think it's been...
I know Jawan coached him, so that's where that comes from.
But well, he didn't go after a coach.
That's a good point. Although the Charlotte coach got tossed later in the game too.
Yes, he did,
it was a spicy environment.
Yeah.
But let's say Duren gets 0-1, Diabate gets probably 1-2.
Yeah.
I think Stu and Bridges are looking at 5+ because both of them didn't need to be involved and did. Stu coming off the bench with his history. Bridges has a history too, by the way.
Yes. Obviously, the 30-game suspension for something that happened off the field.
Yeah, but that's why people are like. There were people that were saying, you know what, if someone's going to get punched by someone off the bench, it's Miles Bridges. And if someone's going to be the one to deliver the blow, let it be Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah.
Look, if you're going to, again, it's out there. I mean, he got suspended for it. When you're hitting women
We're not
when
going
you're
with
beating
what
your
we really want.
Yeah, well, but when you are suspended and you're dealing with the law because you're putting your hands on a woman, yeah, no one's going to feel sorry for you if Isaiah Stewart comes in rolling hot and delivers one.
Right.
Noted feminist Isaiah Stewart getting involved. Sure, we can stand with that.